hands-on ideas that you can use or not use. And then we're going to be creating that class app that I showed you last time that parents can actually download to either their Android or their iOS phone device or their computer, and have access to like your contact information or links that you might want them to use. And it's all built into Google Slides. If you remember, I'm going to just hold up my phone to show you. Uh-oh. There we go. So this is what you'll end up creating, something like this. It will actually look like an app that's on your phone that they can have access to things quickly and easily. But first we're going to start with, does anybody have any classrooms that they designed virtually between last class and this class that they want to share out with the group? Because you were building and creating your own virtual classrooms with some of the skills with the remove.bg, the unsplash for different backgrounds, or Google search. What else did we do last time? We also did the Giphy app to load animation into your slides. Anything else?
There she is.
You got it?
Okay.
So if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, we're small enough, nobody needs to stay on mute, I don't think. That way we can just kind of help and collaborate with each other. But if anybody wants to share something, can you let me know?
Well, the problem is
So they can see me.
if I'm unmuted, then I hear what's coming up.
Okay. So I didn't hear, somebody was just talking and I did not hear you. Maybe you're on mute.
I can share mine, but I'm not done yet with it. I'm not finished.
I'm curious to know what different schools are using next year for their comprehensive distance learning. I was at Newburgh last year, and I did second grade, and we used Seesaw for just about everything we did. But I know Forest Grove is looking at using Canvas even as low as kindergarten.
So are we?
Yeah, Salem Kaiser K2 is using Seesaw, and then 312 is Canvas.
Yeah.
I think. Although a lot of us used Seesaw last year, and of course Google Classroom.
So North Marion is using Canvas. And Mark is in here and his sound is messed up. They're using Canvas in Albany. And Canby is using Seesaw for the younger grades and Schoology for the middle and high school.
I have very little experience with Canvas. How does it compare to something like Google Classroom?
It's much. Can you turn your volume off? Hi guys. So Canvas is a learning management system, full learning, where Google Classroom is not. It is much more complicated, but I guess once you start getting into it, people can manage it. It's just a little trickier. I know that part of the requirements for the blueprints was to have a learning management system that helps with attendance tracking, and Google has nothing that will track attendance at all, but the other ones do. They also have ability to embed video to, I don't know, we just got told we're doing Canvas like last week. So it's I'm going to be sent to trainings here soon, I hope, and we'll be able to figure it out. I've been watching lots of YouTube videos and joined a face group for elementary for Canvas. So I can know more about that after my trainings. And let's see. Does anybody have anything to share? Anybody with the car? Should I just get started?
I have my classroom to share. It's not complete, but
That's okay, perfect. Would love to see it.
okay. So I know I can share from my computer, so hang on.
So can you kind of walk your,
Yeah. Okay. So at first I was gonna say, can you see it? But I can see you can see it. So I mean, this would likely be today's lesson plan. There's my little sparkly thing you helped me with last time. I like to have open class with just a science meme. Sometimes there's really cool tweets or stuff in the news. So I was thinking of putting, that's what the television link is going to be. I don't have a link there yet, but the television will be like, what's in the news today? And then what I added last time, I added some student desks and the couple of beanbag chairs you gave us. So, and I did create a Bitmoji today on my iPad, so I'll just have to figure out how to get that in. I mean, I kind of like my avatar, but she only stands. So I guess with the Bitmojis, I can make them sit on a couch and stuff, or,
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and I'll show you next week how to even animate them to make them move.
Okay.
Nice job.
Very nice.
All right, thanks.
Anybody else?
I have something I can share as well.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta figure out how to stop shit. Oh, there we go.
Okay, so I've started a classroom where, like, this is a little bit about me, but it's also like you can click here and go to some meditation with Mr. C and then a song.
Oh.
And then they can click on Where Have You Lived, which is a Padlet that you introduced to us last week.
Nice.
And then in the library, you can click on these different books. And I don't know if people have found this one, and it's Why We Stay Home, and the elementary school teachers. It's free download. And then I have a video where I'm reading it aloud to kids. And so all of those books you can click on, and it will take you to a read aloud.
Do you have Epic at your school?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, if you can load them with your Epic account, then it's user rights are there versus just getting them off of YouTube, which is copyright infringement. If the author hasn't given permission for them to be done on YouTube, that way it's staying within that right. You know, with COVID, some of the publishers have opened up the rights for teachers again to be able to read aloud these books and put them on these classrooms. They know that it's a big need for our kids, so they're granting more grace with that.
And then all the OBOB titles are here. These are not necessarily read alouds with each of the books. Some of them are, but they have just a little trailer maybe that goes with a book, or a link that you can find the book online.
Yeah, yes.
And popular series, same thing. And then the virtual math manipulatives that you showed us last week.
Yes.
And then I also have a little shelf of some math books that are read alouds that I have done.
Nice job.
And that's about it for so far.
Anybody else want to share before we go on?
I can share mine.
Okay. Treasure dinner.
So here's mine.
We're there now. It's gone again. There we go.
Yep. So just this will be like the lesson, and then I'll have the links here for the different programs, maybe some other things, a little bit of interactive stuff, but
I like it. Anybody
That's
else?
great.
It is great. I like
So
the fish tank.
your fish tank?
Michael, can you put it back up for a second?
Oh yeah.
And do you have a real fish tank at school?
I do. Yeah.
So there's a way that you can make a video of your fish tank and then make it fit that space. And then it's your fish tank swimming around in there.
Well, that's great.
It's awesome.
Stacy will show you
Later, I have to get,
Yeah.
there are a couple people having troubles.
Anybody else wanting to share.
I have one, but I have to actually get to it. I'm working as fast as I can.
That's okay. So what I'll do, and Treasure, don't worry about it. When you're ready, just let me know. I'm going to start sharing some screens of some other things. So when you think about the first day of school, if you're teaching virtually and you're on Zoom or Google Meets, what are some things that you think you need to talk to your students about that first day? You know, let's think. So if you're, you know, I know for me, we had lots of kids who were still in bed, for one, and on this screen, and not okay, you know, when it just wasn't good. And then some kids were just making inappropriate comments in the chat. So kind of those norms of how to behave on a Google Meet would be helpful. So let me show you some things if my computer will load. Sorry.
Yeah, I heard a lot of horror stories about last year.
Yeah, it's just getting used to the fact and reminding parents that, you know, you're biting your whole classroom into your bedroom when you do that. And not so good.
So I told my husband, I mean, because we had one-to-one iPads at my school, and they were constantly doing, and I told you guys, or well, the other class, or this class, yeah, I used Google Classroom all the time. So they were always, even in school, chatting, airdropping, you know, and people would be screaming, stop airdropping. And I'm like, everybody turn off their airdrop so then people can't airdrop you stuff.
So what I found online, some very generous people have donated their different norms that they could, like something you could have up as kids were coming in. And so I've just kind of front loaded them all onto one Google slide document so that you guys can see them. I'm just going to show you what I did with some of them, and then I'm going to give you a blank one to mess around with if you want. Give me a second, I'll share this.
So Janice, I finally found mine.
Oh, okay, hold on. I'll stop sharing and you can go ahead.
Okay, so how do I do sharing on this?
There's a green button that says share screen at the bottom.
Got it.
All
right, Google Chrome. So
if
are you on iPad or computer?
I'm on my.
Did you get a Treasure?
Yeah, I have to give it permission apparently.
Oh yes.
Because
yeah.
I apologize for wasting time. Okay, so maybe now this will do it. We'll see. If not, I suck.
Here we can. There it is. It's going.
Okay, so here is this. This is just one of the ones that I did.
Here. So you've got your animating yours. Yep.
And then, yeah, you got to get the dab in, right? The kids totally, go crazy.
Yeah, even the high schoolers would be like, total.
And then here's another one that I kind of played around with, you know, linking and different things. And then this is kind of not great, but, and then thinking like you were talking about norms and whatnot. Now the thing is like in my way, so I can't get to it. There we are. So if I go to
this is hilarious. I can see you working on my iPad and then it shows up on my computer when you're finished.
That's a hoot. And so like Janice, you were talking about norms and stuff. This is kind of what I did.
Yeah.
But I'll stop sharing now.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Go back.
Exactly.
Go back. Okay. Did it go? No, not yet.
It's so funny because when I share my screen, I just panic and then I think it's really dumb and I want out.
Yes.
And now I see why people go away.
Is it showing it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, be on time, mute yourself, turn on video.
No
Is
chat.
anybody, oh. Is
Yeah.
anybody brave enough to say get out of your pajamas?
Dress appropriate. I'll show you some. Are you done, Treasure? Okay.
There we
Thank you for bringing it back.
That's awesome. So let me show you several different options that you can use or not use, and Treasure's is beautifully done. Couple things that people are cautioning about is that some of our kids may not want to be on video as much as we want them on video. So there's been some worry about privacy and equity and trying to keep kids safe. It's just a tricky one, but these are different ones that people have shared, different versions, and I'm going to give you a link that has all of these. This is a more cleaner
Can you
version.
make it bigger or hit present?
Present, yeah.
Present it. Is that better? Oops. Now I'm going to go.
Much better, thank you.
So this one, when I just said, when possible, keep your camera on and still, just because of that. And then see, here's that dress appropriately. We're going to be having, for our school, we're going to be training our parent, or not training, but giving PD to our parents about the different platforms, about using Canvas, about using Google Meets or Zoom, whichever one they end up going with this year, and teach them. And one of the things that we're going to talk about is that whole, make sure your student is where they're safe and where they're not inviting that whole class into their bedroom. Also, we had parents walking behind the kids, you know, so that in front of their cameras, getting dressed or arguing. So we're wanting just to make sure parents understand that this is being a video, you know, live video in their home, so that they're not surprised by that. So this one just has various different ideas of how you can make a norm video. This one has a little more to it, but I can share this link with you, and I did it blank if you would want it in the chat. Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down. People want it? Okay. I'm going to stop sharing this and share that next one with you really quick.
And share so that we can like use it, right?
Correct.
Okay. I had a question about the thumbs up, thumbs down. At least on every time I'm picking, on the desktop, I only have clap and thumbs up. I don't see a thumbs down.
So I think Jan's talking about right on your screen.
Yeah.
Like, so
you mean
is you stick your thumb up or your thumb down or whatever.
Which is what I've been doing, but okay.
Oh,
I was thinking emojis. Okay.
I apologize. I've lost all my links. So let me grab them back. Just 1 second. You guys, can you talk for a minute?
I'm curious if any other teachers have heard what Janice is talking about students being allowed to not show themselves for class.
I had some problems, and it was not every kid, but certain kids, that if their camera wasn't on, they were not engaging. They were playing Minecraft or doing other things. And so, you know, I get the whole equity issue, but I don't know the answer, you know, like.
I had to say that I let up on the rule that you had to have your camera on because I had some kids living in their cars. And some other issues where they didn't want to come to class because they had to turn their video on. And so I wanted every kid to come to class. So I said, you can I would like to have your video on so I can kind of monitor your engagement and see how you're, interacting with the material. But if you don't feel like you're in a place that it's a good place for you to have your video on, that's okay.
Did you find it was usually those kids who chose to turn it off but engage, or did you have the same issue that I did where they were goofing? Yeah,
I don't know what they were doing when I couldn't see them. So I flat out told them I would prefer to see you.
Right.
And if you need to not use your video, okay.
Right, because different things and whatnot, or someone screaming in the background or whatever.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, I'm thinking, I mean, you guys all experienced this, and I didn't because as a substitute, no one ever called in sick in the spring. But as teaching high schoolers in the classroom, I mean, they're on their freaking phones, sneaking them the whole time. So I mean, you guys all have littles. I would imagine that, again, it's part of the norm. Say no, tell the parents, but at a certain point, we can't make them not be on their phones when they're at home, right?
Correct.
So
It's tricky. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to pull up all those links. I inadvertently closed out of my whole Google Drive, so.
I was actually looking forward to the fact that I don't know, I was thinking with the virtual learning, I wouldn't be having to say so-and-so stop talking to each other, so-and-so get off your phone as much, and that we could just teach. But what was it for you guys in the spring?
Exactly the same. And it was only a couple of kids where I had to give them warnings like, I need you to stop texting on your phone. I need you to stop doing this. Remember what our norms are. And I would eventually sometimes have to actually kick the kids out. And usually then they would straighten up. But then when I was like, okay, if you can't follow our norms, I'm going to be calling your family.
Yeah.
Then suddenly they straightened up.
Cool, thanks.
Treasure, where do you teach?
I teach in Salem Kaiser. I was at Kaiser Elementary 4th grade and total Title I.
Okay.
Where are you?
I'm curious because I was in Newburgh finishing up my student teaching last year, and I had second grade, and I actually found that the kids were better behaved online than in person.
We used
Like they're very attentive. Nobody was messing around with anything. They were all video showed up.
It could be that it was second grade and you were on the magic idiot box, because we used to joke that we would go sit in my classroom at my school. We all have offices, and we all joked about going and hiding in our offices and teaching from the camera and projecting on the screen, and maybe they would pay attention. But that's cool. I'm so sorry your student teaching was so messed up, but wow, you're way more prepared than a lot of veterans.
Well, yeah, I'm glad I went through it. I couldn't imagine it being my first year or starting student teaching now. That would just be nuts.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine. I have no idea. But so, do you have a position for the fall, Jacob?
Not yet. Nobody's hiring. I had an interview on Friday in Forest Grove, but it's the first job I've seen posted in 4 months.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. Everything is online. Salem Kaiser's been posting some stuff. So if you're interested.
Yeah. Hey,
Beaverton is totally hiring right now. If that's close enough. They are desperately looking for online teachers that can then transition to in-person.
Okay, that's good to know.
And I'm down in Medford, so I'm totally screwed.
Nice and hot. Yeah, and Salem Kaiser, so Janice and Stacy, I'm transitioning to full-time online teaching, which is something totally new for me. I'm joining up with the new Edge K-12 online.
Okay.
And so I know that they will have some openings. I think it's only internal right now, but they will be having openings. So.
Jacob, do you know about the daily district email or the weekly district emails?
Sorry, guys, wrong.
Where they send out job postings and such?
Yeah.
I follow a few of them, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll stop.
No, it's cool.
Fine. I just did the wrong thing. Computer wrong. So give me a minute.
Or as a sub, is there any talk of what subbing would look like?
Again, if I imagine if someone gets COVID, then you're gonna have a 2-week, month, 90-day sub, long-term sub. From the spring, there were a few sub jobs that posted up, like 4 over the term, but
did you do any of those sub jobs?
Down here, it's really competitive. Like jobs go in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
the reason I asked, is I
unless
did
it's advanced
subbing.
math. I taught advanced math almost exclusively because no one wanted to teach that. What was your question?
Well, I worked with EMS Subdesk for a
Okay.
couple years before I did my student teaching, and I'm curious, what did subbing look like in the spring? Like, did you get the chance to digitally go into any class? Like, did they give you passwords to log in as a teacher? Like, how did that work?
Again, I didn't get a single sub job after she shut schools. Medford School District actually gives us full email. And so I was actually able to, I could have joined in Medford meetings. I was able to see all their staff discussions and stuff. So it just depends. You're in the Portland area, so do you know about ESS?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they formerly were EMS.
Okay.
Subdesk. So now, yeah, they keep changing their name, but yes, I do know ESS.
Okay, I would definitely sign up for that one. And if there's more, it's easier to get a job. Like we have Southern Oregon ESD where the teachers could specifically request you, which was nice. The problem with ESS was you had to be in their fave 5, and you almost never get a job. But if you get a relationship with a teacher and they're brave enough to ask their sub coordinator, they can assign you directly. And so I was working at South High and North High almost exclusively. Anytime they needed a math teacher, the sub coordinator would just assign me. She'd text me, she's like, hey, I got a job, do you want it? And she would assign me. So there's
Okay.
So
the next one, so I put the
Okay.
link for that one, and it's the second link. The first link was the one from the green screen. So it's a link to the slide that I gave you all the different meet norms. The next one that's just going to be an easy where you can drop and paste or cut and paste and whatnot is COVID posters, so that if you're back in a hybrid situation, you could use something like this for kids. Some of these can be created in something called PictoChart, if you've heard of PictoChart before, but they have some wonderful people on Facebook have created the same thing in Facebook Facebook and Google Slides, so that you could just do it right there. So there's different versions again, and I have a blank one that I'll drop into the chat for you if you want this one as well. Okay. So I'll get that dropped, and then I have one more to show, and then we're going to start on that class app. So I'll get the other one dropped in. And this one's going to have some blank, but it has also some examples of the people that created it, to give them credit, because it wasn't me. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, so that should be the link to the blank COVID posters. And then the last one is a digital pass. If we were hybrid, my students usually had a pass that they just put on their computer screen or their keyboard when they would use the restroom or go to the office, but we don't want them touching anything. So I created a digital pass that looks like this. I can get it. Okay. So it looks like, that's just having trouble loading. It looks like this. I have two versions, this one and then a simpler one. I figured with hybrid, when we're working, they're not gonna be leaving to go to the library or to go to another classroom, because they'll be staying in our school. So I either have them going to the office or going to the restroom. And each one of these I'll load this into their, now Canvas. I was going to put it in Google Classroom under announcements so that they could just click on this. It'll come up in present mode so that they can't move anything around it. If they're going to the office, it takes them right to a Google form. So slow. that has an office pass that has them fill out their name. If they're coming or returning, if they're going to the office or returning, the reason why I'm doing it twice is that it will have a time stamp on the Google sheet when I print this or do this printed out for the day, so I'll know which students left at what time. The reason why they went to the office, if there's nothing here, they can explain. If they're coming back, they don't have to fill this one out. They just have to say they're returning. And then the other one, the restroom, is the same. And you notice there's a little banner with your Bitmoji. This is, I can teach you how to change your banner, create your own banners in Google Forms or Google Classroom. And it's just a little simpler. They're going or they're returning, just so I have timestamps on that.
And Canvas works with Google Classroom. Right?
It does. It's just, I'm not sure exactly how, but that's where, and if you want that, I can share that as well. You would just need to make a copy of your forms. Otherwise they would come to me, not to you. So anybody want those as well? Yes, no?
Is there a Google Drive full of, or a Google Doc that would have all of these links?
I have a slide deck that we're building that will have some of those links, maybe not all of them, but we can try to put them all in.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Me too.
Okay. And
So obviously they can use the bathroom if you're doing Zoom, right? But Office, that's only if live learning, right?
oh, this is hybrid. That was for the
Okay.
hybrid one. I'm not going to worry about when they're on Zoom, whether they're going to
Oh, okay.
it out with me. I know that my school has not come out with an ending date at all on virtual learning yet. So we could, as soon as the metrics were, right, they can flip, so we're not set to a date. Like some districts have come out with a set date that they'll return to classroom or hybrid learning. So I want to have stuff ready to go for both so that I don't have to try to figure that all out in the midst of doing hybrid. Stacy wanted me to go back to the norms one for just a
The
second.
requirements on that blueprint for reentry will have, you need to record who was in your cohort at what time. And so when you're back to physical and kids are using that, you can say, that this child left at this time and went to this place and then came back. So you have to keep all of your records for 4 weeks to turn them in case there's ever an outbreak at your school. And so that would help a teacher be able to keep track of that stuff if you needed it. There's going to be a lot of recording of who walked in your room and how long they stayed.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
I don't want them to touch the same pen or pencil or whatever, I just want it to be digital. But I'm a tech teacher, so it may be different for me. I'm gonna go back. That was hopefully the right link to the,
It was the right link to the norm.
to the digital hall pass, the one I just did. So the norm, I'm gonna go back and share the norms for a minute. If I can.
So I think one of the big problems that we're going to have when we start back, especially if we're starting back digitally, is that you're getting to know your kids, you're setting up your rules and expectations, and there's that uncomfortableness of not knowing who's in the room learning while you're learning. And so the clearer we can be about what our expectations are in the classroom, even if parents are listening behind, I think it will really help us a lot as far as how we manage our classroom online. Jan's got these class norm things, and I think not that anybody has to copy it exactly, but if you take time and think about, what behaviors got in the way, like, sticking your eyeball on the camera, or sticking your mouth on the camera, or dragging your cat up to the camera. If you can think about, rules are best if they're worded in the positive sense. So I will, instead of, I won't put my mouth on the camera and I won't put my eyeball on the counter. But if we can spend some time looking at some of these things that Jan has up there, and really no matter what kind of class you're teaching or what age of people, if you can center things down into 4 or 5 expectations, it's really nice. And it would be nice if parents are overhearing this so that they know you should be sitting in front of your screen, that you're camera should be facing just you and the wall, that there's not enough space between your chair and the wall for somebody to go by. We should be dressed appropriately for school, that kind of thing. So I'm going to quit talking.
Okay, so if you want to create something original and fun to share with us next week, that would be awesome. I'm gonna move on to the next thing, which is gonna take the bulk of our day. So I'm gonna stop sharing for 1 second so I can get into the right spot. While I'm not sharing, if you wanna talk about some norms that you didn't see on there that you think we should add, or not, let us know. Just give me 1 second to get
So
this up.
while she's doing that, I was thinking, and I talked about it a little bit in the last class, but if I'm going to be recording lessons, I'm going to try to put, like I have a hedgehog, and so I want to try to put a picture of a hedgehog every once in a while, keep track of how many pictures I've put into my video, and then like there would be a listening prize or a listening, somebody got a listening star, or whatever the incentive that you have within your own classroom. But you'll get a much better feel. I believe I will get a much better feel of who paid attention the whole time if I know I put 12 hedgehogs in my lesson and kids are saying they saw 40 or they saw 50 or they saw 0 or they saw 2. I'll have a better idea of who I had actually there listening to whatever my lesson was. So I would have them put in the chat at the end of the lesson, 7 hedgehogs or 2 hedgehogs, and then we could have a winner and, I don't know, put a star somewhere. Yeah, I think marble jar would be awesome.
There's a virtual marble jar that I can find for you for next time if you want. I'll try to find it. Okay, I'm going to share something about, before we start I forgot, how to embed audio into your Google Slides. If anybody's interested in that. Yes, no?
Yes.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. So, okay. So I'll show you this slide that I've showed you before. That was just that crazy, busy slide. But I added a little speech. You see the little speaker right here? And if students would click on present. Let's put it in present. And I'm spinning, so sorry guys. My computer is super slow.
So talk about present and why you're hitting present.
I'm hitting present because oftentimes the links don't work as well in the regular view. So if you have students open up into the present mode, it's easier for them. And we'll show you how to do that as well with this app. And see, I'm still loading because I'm spinning.
So if you're making your slides and they're not in present, it will drop the link and then you click the link and go to it. If it's in present, as soon as you click those pictures, it instantly goes right into the link.
Okay, do you see where it's telling me that I don't have access? Well, I'm going to go into my Google Drive. Good for you to see. And again, slower than slow. Into my drive. This is not my school drive, but my just home drive. And if under it, I have an audio file. Sorry.
Sorry.
And here's my audio. So I need to right click on this and get a shareable link. And change the sharing to anyone with the link. Otherwise, it will not work. Then click done. Now I should be able to open that slide. And press play. Yeah. Refresh. Sorry. Now it should work. Yeah, okay. Everything's running really slow today. Either my internet's really slow or my computer. Couldn't tell you. There we go.
Happy end of the year. Throughout this room, there are 42 activities for you to explore and have fun.
So basically, I just read what was typed here for my non-readers, students. And the way that I recorded that is in something called, oh, I missed my link. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stop sharing to go get the link. Sorry, guys. Can you talk about audio? Steve,
All right, I'm going to share
thank you.
my screen. So you don't see my screen, do you?
Yeah, we saw it.
Is it on there?
I don't know if I'm seeing yours or not. Yeah.
So do you see that? Can you thumb up me down? You are screen sharing. Okay, we're good. Okay, so this is my office. And what, get back here. When I hit, so if I have it in this, it's not presenting yet. It's not present. So if I click any of my links, I'm gonna have to kind of double click, but I see what my different slides are. So when I hit present, it moves to full screen. And I loaded up a chalkboard and then hit suggestions. And that will take me to a Google Doc that I made. And then families can fill that out, hit submit, and that will just only go to me. And it will be private communication between myself and a family that has something that they want to share. So if I go back, then I've made a shirt. So this is a shirt order. We have different merchandise that we sell at the school that we make. And it links to that form. This is a link to how to join our robotics class. This is a link that goes out to YouTube. And then it's the presentation of our current staff, our employees. And this was made a combination of PowerPoint and the iMovie stuff. So it goes through who our staff are. Tell me when you're ready.
I'm gonna have to shut down. My computer's spinning.
So then so I have a fish tank on my desk. And so this is what I was talking about with. So this, I took a video of my fish tank. And then this is actually my fish tank. So those are really my fish. And you just embed that into your room. And then it just plays forever and you can adjust the sound. This is, so my hedgehog, whoop, come back. So this is my hedgehog, but this is her house. And I was able to find it like on the Amazon site. Then you can remove the background and put it in there. And then I'm making, so this is our school office, but our secretaries are too nervous to send me their Bitmoji, so there's no human in there. But then I have links to the school calendar, the school newsletter, how to get to grades, how to order a lunch. This takes you to the form that you fill out so that we can give your child medication. This is our medication and treatment policy. This big virus thing is our blueprint for reopening. And then the computer here on one of the secretary's desks takes you to the school website. And then I'm making, so different classrooms. So what I'm trying to do is just set up a different classroom for each teacher. And then I just want to make it really basic, and then they can come in and fix their own. But so they're giving me their parent letter. If they have class expectations already taken care of, so like your class norms, I would link it there. They would rather make their list with their class, so they'll make their list with Zoom, and then we'll post it up here. This will be their Zoom class schedule. And then, it's a private Christian school, so we pledge allegiance to the American flag and the Christian flag. This would be to their own personal classroom calendar. The clock is going to be a link to what their daily schedule is like. And I'm trying to figure out if I should have desks or not in there. So I put desks in there, but it kind of looks messy. This teacher gave me a Bitmoji. So same kind of information. And then our kindergarten teacher, I'm going and taking pictures of her walls because she has very specific things, but I can take each picture and then link it to whatever subject she's teaching. This we already have, right? Furniture.
And I got it whenever.
And this is our tech teacher who only gave me like her Bitmoji from her shoulders up. So she's really not that short, but if I lift her, then it's a floating. So, and then each of these pictures will be linked to what those are. So dots, dash, and Osmo, and Ozabots, and that kind of thing. And Jan is ready.
Sorry, guys, my computer crashed. So now I'm getting I'll share the link on the audio. It's super easy to use. It's kid friendly and makes it so that you can help your non-readers. So it's called onlinevoicerecorder.com. It has a blue area right here with this little microphone. You just simply click on it. This is a test about online video recordings. Stop. It processes it. You can.
This is a test about online video recordings.
You click save and it processes it down here. Do you see on my screen that it's down in my bottom corner in downloads? So I can go to my Google Drive. It's still spinning, but not as bad as it was. Sorry. And then I'm going to open up my audio file so I know right where I want to put it. If I can get it to agree. Gotta love. And then I'm just going to drag it up. And then it should be in here, untitled. I got it. Sorry.
This is a test about online video. This is a test about online video recordings.
One moment. Okay, so you drag it up into your drive, and then if you go back to whatever you want to put it in, you click on, you still see, insert, except for my screen is still spinning. So as soon as it gets insert, audio, make sure that you rename it. I just didn't want to wait for it to come up. So it's really being slow. Insert audio. And then from your drive, sorry guys, cannot get it to load. It's really not hard to do, guys. It's really easy. And then you should see it within there. It's just not wanting to come up.
It's the same as inserting a picture, right?
It is. It is exactly. And it comes up with this little icon and you can move it around where you want it. And I apologize. My computer is really not liking any of this today.
Yes, is there a way, is there like a counter, or do you know who's visiting the slide page?
No, not in Google. That's one of the reasons why they're requiring a learning management system, is there's no way to know who is in here. So I had a Google form attached that the students had to tell me where, when they came and what they did. This was a free choice slide. This was like the last week, kind of like field day for tech. So my slides that I use from teaching would not be this busy, because this is a little bit overwhelming. This was just kind of like click around, find something fun to do. But did everybody, you want this in the chat, the online voice recorder?
Yes.
It's on that slide deck too, but I'll stick it in the chat.
I'll just screenshot.
Yeah?
Yes, please.
Okay. It's super easy, I promise. It's not nearly as difficult as my computer's making things right now. Next thing that we're going to do is if everybody could get a blank Google slide deck opened, we'll start on that class app. Let me show you what one is going to look like. Hold on, it's being. Okay, so this is what I showed you in the, okay, it's not sharing. Okay, hold on. Should be better. Okay, are you seeing the right one now?
Nope,
Okay.
it's not shared.
Share. How about now?
Here it comes. Yep.
Okay. So to get this to be shared in a, where you can click on it, I'll show you in a minute, but right now you can see that these slides here have that eye kind of lined out. So it's just under skip. So if you went to slide, I selected skip slide so that it would not advance when they're clicking on things. It has, let's go to present mode just so I can show you. And this is in my way. See how this box right here, this navigation box, or this, I'll show you a way to get that to where it doesn't come to when you publish it. So if I click on contacts, it takes me to contact information. Home button takes me home. About me. Links. Schedules. So you can have anything you want in here. You're just going to be creating your app the way, whatever you want your families or your students. You can make it for the families, you can make it for your students, whichever way you want. And then it tells them, this will take them to a link on how to bookmark it to either their Android or their iPhone or iPad. I'm sorry?
Sorry, I was talking to the dog, my bad.
No, you're fine. So what we're going to do is build something like this. If I was, you know, like I showed you on present or on the phone, they could actually tap on these things and everything's there. So this is what we're going to be building now. Does that make sense?
Janice, are you able to share that so that we can use yours as a template?
Yes. Do you want that? But I'm going to show you how to just build your own. We're going to do it together.
Okay.
And the template too.
So you just want us to open a Google slide presentation?
Right. So what's your, let me go to my,
I still think it might be easier if we like used yours, made a copy, and then changed it and tweaked it to meet our classroom.
okay, but you're going to be surprised. Hold on.
Okay.
Because you'll be surprised how easy it will be for you, okay? But I will share it. I just want you to try to do it. So if you're in a, are you seeing my blank Google Slides? Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to layout and get a blank layout. And I am going to get rid of this themes button so I have a bigger screen to work with. And then the next thing, to make the class app, you're going to change the page size. So go to File and then Page Setup. And you're going to click where it says widescreen, click down where it says Custom.
Wait, page setup.
Yes.
Can you go a little bit slower?
Yes, I'm sorry.
You're a little bit too fast.
Okay. File, Page Setup.
So you really have to scroll down to see page setup.
It's at the bottom, down
And
here.
then Janice, are we going to get a copy of our class, of the video that's being recorded right now, so
Yes.
that we can use it later too?
Yes. And then click where it says widescreen. There's an upside down triangle. Click on that. And you want to select custom. And you're going to change
So is everybody there?
change custom to 9 by 14. And then click apply.
And at this point, it seems really weird.
And so now it's like, looks like a narrow, skinny page. Everybody have that so far? I can't see everyone when I'm presenting, so you'll really have to use your voices while I'm presenting.
Got it.
Okay. So the next thing I want to do is create some kind of background for my my app, right? So I'm going to go to insert an image from search the web, and you can type in a couple different things like cell phone wallpaper or phone background or just background, whatever. And the different phone wallpapers, whatever you want to search for, and just find anything that you like. You know,
But this is going to just show up in a very small part of your phone. So, right?
yeah, it's not going to be much. You saw on my app. So once you find whichever one, I'll give you a couple minutes to find, because yeah, you'll want to find the one you like. Once you find something that you like, then you just press insert and then format it so that it fits your entire box there. Oops, not like I just did. When you find something, let me know. Stretch it out. You kind of want to be picky. You want it to fit so that there's nothing, no white showing. So it just takes a little bit of fussing with it. And when we're ready, if you could just let me know, since I don't know who's ready.
Car is ready. Sorry, I was muted.
No, you're okay.
Stacy's ready.
Good to go.
Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do is create kind of the inside of your phone app. So you're going to go and get a shape. So here's the shape tool right here with this little circle and half square. And you can get, I'm just going to get a rectangle. I've used just a plain rectangle, and I've used this rounded rectangle. You can choose whichever one you want. I'm just going to use a regular rectangle, and I'm going to bring it inside my page to about 3/4 of the way, maybe 2/3 of the way, and drop it in, and then I can kind of adjust it. So you can see how you're losing your background. Okay. And then just click off so it looks like that. You can decide. Now this is where I'm going to do one more thing. I'm actually going to click on my slide, and I'm going to right click on top of my slide over here and duplicate this slide. So I have two, and I'm going to take and get rid of this insert on the second slide for a minute. And I'm going to use this slide to build the colors. So there's a really cool extension called Colorzilla. That's a Chrome web store extension. It looks like mine is a little eyedropper right here. And if I want to match the colors that are in this, I can use this Colorzilla. So I'm just going to put a shape over here to fill colors to match, just to get my, oops.
People might want to download that, right?
Yeah, if you want to do that, I'm just going to show them what it does really quick. So I have a shape here just to match, and I'm going to click on Colorzilla, pick color from page, and see how I have now a little plus sign. I'm going to click somewhere here, and up here it shows me, oops, I lost it. when I try to demonstrate, I lose it. You see at the top of my screen, it has a, darn it. It's hard to do it with trying to teach it at the same time. At the top, it says color copy to the clipboard. So now when I go to click on my shape and I go to fill color and custom, I can paste right in this box that number, that hex number, and then it brings up the color and click OK. Now when I go to fill color, it's down here under custom. So I can go through and pick different colors I want to use for my app to match right now, and they'll all be down under here in custom. So I don't have to try to figure out what would look good up here. They will actually have been colors pulled from here. Does everybody want to try to get that, or do you want to just keep going? No? Okay.
It would take me too long to get Colorzilla.
Okay. So let's keep going then. I'm going to go back up to slide 1 then. And we need to make some kind of a frame. So if you saw, I'll show you mine really quick. So see how I kind of have a frame, this black frame here, border, and a little bit of a border down here. That's what we're going to create next. So you're going to just
real
go
quick, and
Yep.
I might have missed this last week. Are we making an application that can be downloaded by our students and parents?
Yes.
And it's a phone app.
Well, it's
Yeah.
a Google slide deck, but it mimics an app.
So it wouldn't be downloaded from the App Store.
No,
It's simply a link.
pretty
So
much.
it's not an actual app.
Correct.
Okay.
It's appish.
So go ahead and get a shape and kind of make a little bit of a border. This is where you're going to put your title or your name or your class title, and fill color with whatever color you want it to be. And then just again, it's all that lining up of this. Okay. And then you're going to do the same thing down at the bottom. I'm probably going to do a different color. It's really, when you take the time to actually do the colors to match, it really makes it look a little better. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it and bring it down to the bottom as well, but I'm going to make it much smaller.
And this is your title, right? Your heading.
Mm-hmm. And up here in your text box, you can write whatever you want. Mine says Miss Jones Class App, or this one, I created a second one. This one looks like that. Okay. So I'm just going to type in whatever you want to type. It takes a pretty big font size.
I use 28 or 36. That's what I use.
Yeah, and then the center align is right here. If you don't know, in alignments, I do center, and I also do the center of the text box as well, the middle. And
Yes.
whatever you want to do. Okay, and that's simply their title.
Sorry, my if was I changed the font.
So now, before I go any further, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create this so that none of this can move. Because right now, if I have a student that goes in here, they can move things around if they click on it, and it becomes a pain. So to do that, see how my first slide is highlighted? I'm going to go to File, Download, and then PNG. And so mine's down here at the bottom. Now I'm going to go to, I want a new slide, so I'm going to go to plus here, and I'm going to go to background, choose image, and then I'm going to drag that PNG into my area right here, and then click done. So now on slide 2, since my slide 2 is here, I can try to move that and nothing moves.
Can you do that step by step one more time?
So slide 1 right here. So this one's the one that moves. File, download, PNG.
So.
I'm leaving it on.
Okay.
Okay, everybody got that?
PNG.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And it'll download into, my downloads right here, it'll go into your download folder. Then you go to plus sign up here. This is gonna add a new slide. Okay. Now I'm going to select background. Everybody there, choose image. And you can either, mine, I'm just going to drag it up here, or you would have to, upload it from, go browse and then to your download file, but mine is right here, so I can drag it up and in. And then done. How are we doing? Better? Okay. So I only need one of them, so I'm going to get rid of. And then I'm going to get rid of my top slide. Well, actually, I'll leave it there for now. I'm going to build on the one that doesn't move though. Okay. So you can delete this one that moves if you want. So the next thing we're going to do is start creating the buttons, or I'll show you here again. So the little buttons that you're going to be clicking on that will link to the different slides. So I use circles here on this one. I use these kind of oval shaped cornered or rounded cornered squares or rectangles. You can use anything you want. Stacy used really cute clouds. The problem is when you start using stars or things, it's very difficult to add your text into those. So keeping it kind of simple is best. So someone's chatting, I don't know. I'm following the chat. Okay, do you guys want me to share the template still, or do you want to keep building your own?
I would like to see the template.
Okay, hold on, let's see if I can find. Okay, so this is the template that I created for you, so I'll get this into the chat. I think it is.
Not full screen.
So while she's doing that, Mark, I just saw your comment asking about embedding live video links. Were you talking about in the classroom? Because in the classroom, yes, you can. You can embed your own, any video you make or find on YouTube.
Okay, did everybody get that link? Okay. So back to this one. The next thing you're going to do is go ahead and pull in another shape. You can choose what you want. This is where you kind of have to play with what kind of things. I'm doing kind of just squares on this one. And think about what you're wanting to share with families. So how many links or boxes do you need? You know, I used 7 on this one.
So you want us to make a copy of this, right?
Not yet.
But the link that you just.
Oh, they can if they want. That one's just done for them. If they want to make a copy, this one's, they're building their own. So is anybody still building their own? I can't hear
But
anybody.
I heard
Mine's finished. Cara's finished.
Yours is finished, Cara? You rock. Yes, I'm still building mine. I'm using yours, Janice, as a template.
Okay.
Do you want me to share mine really quick?
Yes.
Sure.
I know Google Slides really well, so
Good.
let's see, share screen. Okay.
And the template you just shared with us, are we able to come in and change?
No, it's the one that I shared, I think has the set backgrounds. So that's why I'm showing you how to make your own.
But do you have a blank one that they can? I think that's what.
Was what I shared them with.
So obviously before I sent this out, I'm just playing with colors and shapes and sizes. So that's why they're all different right now. And I don't have them aligned but I just was making it really quick. So that's what mine looks like.
Nice.
I can't.
That's what you wanted, right? And now we're gonna add links and text.
But yeah, only you're gonna want that on one slide, and then the following slides are all gonna be different. So I can't.
Well, I'm working off like that third PNG slide you told me to.
The one
You
that
told us to make a PNG and make that.
right, and you only want one of those.
So you're not using the PNG one to make each one
No,
inside?
not yet. We're just working on that first slide right now.
The one that's editable.
No, the PNG slide. Sorry.
Okay, I kind of just wanted to keep the first two in there as a reminder of what I did.
Yes, no, I would too. And I just kept it in there just in case something went wrong. So I'm just adding buttons right now for me. So
I'm just gonna add a note here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll stop sharing.
No,
No,
you're
it's
fine.
awesome. Does anybody else want to share what they have so far?
And the reason why you don't want to,
Whoa.
nice, I love it. The reason why you do not want to, she's using the Colorzilla, she's matching up. You don't want to put your buttons in the PNG because you're going to have access to click on things to link. And so you have to have the button. So you can do whatever you want in here. So I'm going to start with contact information. And so I want some kind of phone or email. And I have this little icon, but a place to go to find these different icons is called flaticon.com.
I can't see your screen.
Oh dear. Sorry, guys. Now can you see it?
Yes.
So flaticon.com, so I can do something like phone and type in phone and email. And it'll come up with many, many different icons. Again, my computer is being super slow on everything. So you'll find the one that you like. You kind of match it with your color theme and figure out which one works for you. So I'm just going to click fast on one. What you're going to need to do is that I'm using, this is free, but they want you to give credit. So I'm going to download it as a PNG and then free download.
Do you have to create an account to download?
No. But see how slow my computer is being right now.
Yeah.
So I'm having no fun with this today. But you attribute, they give you a link right here to copy and attribute, and I just put the link down in here, or let's see, where's it? Down here, class icons. so that you're giving credit for them. Okay, from Flat Icon. And sorry that mine is not searching. I don't know if it ever came up.
Let's see.
Stacy, are you in Flat Icon? Can you
Nope.
show them?
I
Okay,
can get there.
because mine is not showing how to do that at all.
So flaticon.com.
.com.
So do you,
Mhm.
what do you want me to do with it?
Well, download something so that they can see how to get that link. Remember, mine's still downloading, so it's not. My computer is just not wanting to do anything. So I think that's down here. The icon's down here. I just don't have the. Oh. It's still downloading, so I can't get it to download. Are you sharing? Sorry, guys. Anybody get it to download for them? The Flat Icon? I'm going to try again.
I keep changing my mind, so
Take your time because clearly I'm not able to get it to work for me.
what's a contact good one? A person, probably, or
I've used phone and email. I think I've got it now.
okay, because I downloaded an email one, and then that was like email, and I guess that's my preferred contact. So I guess that makes sense.
You could do like text bubbles.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever works for you. Let's see.
Kind of like this at person.
Shared you. There you go.
So when I downloaded, it gave me this icon here. It downloaded it to the bottom here, so I can copy this. I don't know if you'll be able to see if you're seeing my screen or
Yes,
just
we're
that.
seeing your screen.
Okay, can you see if I go here? Does it change?
Yes.
Okay, so now I can go down here and say, pull the email up here, resize it however I want. But I also have down in the speaker notes, I'm going to say Flat Icon and then email, phone, and put that credit there for it, that link to give it credit. And then I'll put this up in my box here and resize it so that it's whatever size you want. And then I'm going to add a text. You can type directly on a shape, but what happens is that then it doesn't work right. I tried, Stacy, it wouldn't link. So you have to add an actual text box to get it to work. So go to text box and type in contacts or whatever, contact me, contacts, or email, phone, or whatever you want to write there. Contact info. And when you get it done, then just go and create your next one. So whatever you want the next slide to be. So for me, I had it be an about me page. I had a link page or websites, and a schedule, news, our district calendar, and then I had a tech calendar that I have for my students. So right now, that can be customized to whatever you want your families or your students, depending on who you're creating this for, to use. So think about what you would want. I think everybody, it's kind of nice for you to do a little about me so they get to know you a little bit. Mine's pretty basic. It just has a little bit about my teaching experience, kind of my favorite things so kids can see what we have in common, and my family. But you can do whatever you want. If you're using the one that I shared with you it's just, I left you some blank boxes to fill in on that. But we're working on this page right now because we haven't made the pages for the rest of it yet. And probably need to do that next. So this is going to be a lot of like work on at home type thing. So maybe you can, we're going to move on so I can show you how to build the second or the other pages so that you can work on those as well. Back to where I was.
So for schedule, is that the school schedule or today's lesson plan?
Okay, hold on. For me, it's going to be what days I'm Zooming with or meeting with my kids.
Okay.
So I have 17 different kids. It could be for you, the times and days. I don't have a schedule right now to do, so mine just says coming soon. But, you know, the days, so if it's Monday at 10:30, and then I'll put that, instead of activity, I'll probably change that to say, you know, class, teacher, you know, or whatever here. So I know which one it is, grade and teacher, so that families will know which day their students come in to meet with me. For a classroom teacher, you might have time and subject and time or whatever, Monday, and then the time, and then what subject or activity, math, reading, whatever that you're doing your Zoom meetings.
Or maybe your office hours.
Yeah, I'll put office hours on here as well. Or maybe I'll make another button and make an office hour button. This is just yeah.
I just have a quick question. Why would we produce both this and the classroom slides that you guys showed at the beginning of the class?
This is just,
I guess, what's the benefit to having both?
Just different choices. This is information parents can have like right on their phone. The slides would go into more of my Google Classrooms.
So good thing for parents that don't have internet access or a computer.
Right. This would be more what I would be doing as a contact for my parents. So they would be able to get a hold of me. They would know something about me, some links that they can use. But the classrooms that we were building before would actually go into my Google Classrooms when I'm setting them up for my kids, or in Canvas now for my school. So like this one with links. Oh, sorry, this one's not linked together yet. This one I have some more links. I included Oculus and World Book and Epic, you know, for parents, and my Canvas link or my Google Classroom, our school website, our district website, school Facebook, our district Facebook. So parents would have those links at their fingertips to be able to go to. That make more sense?
Yes, I'm also curious if your school provides you as a teacher with your own personal classroom webpage, would you include this as a link, or would you use this as, would you even use this?
It would just be another option. You know, right now for me, getting parents as many different ways to contact and have that ability to connect with them is good, because some parents might feel comfortable going to a website. Some might rather have it on their phone. I just want to give them care, and connection is huge with the COVID, the blueprint. You know, it's always huge as a teacher, but we really want to be making sure we're making connections with our families. So if I have multiple ways for them to do that, that's great, fine. If I only want to do one way, that's fine too. But you kind of have to feel out what your parents and your families are wanting or willing to use, right?
For me, I think I would take this and think of it as something that's used on the phone. And what would you want somebody who's away from their computer to be able to have access for? So it's more for parents. And I would put a link from this to my classroom. And so then they can see exactly what their kids are seeing on that classroom screen, and just give them access to that without them having to go,
which would be here and here,
to a different site. That's how I think.
So Jacob, it's just a matter for my students. You know, I see 500 and some students. Those families all access information in different ways. So if I can build something as simple as this little app for them to put on their phones to help them with communication, you know, it didn't take me that long to do, to make it worth that. So going back to here, what I want to do before we run out of time is a couple things. Notice that I don't have any border around my shapes here. To get a border around that shape, I just go right next to fill color. There's border color. I can click here, click on whatever color you want, and then I can change the weight of that border here. So you might want it to be a little thicker around it. I have in some, let's see. And you always have to make sure your shape is selected in order for you to use that border weight or the fill color. So I like it a little thicker. I would probably go back and put borders around the different boxes. You can do what you want. I want to show you the next part of the slide so that you can work on this over the week if you want before our class. Because next week what I'm going to do is show you how to link everything together and how to publish it to the web so it doesn't have that navigation tool on the bottom of it. So the parents, when they access it on their phone, it interacts just like a regular app would. Is everybody kind of ready to do that?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
For the sourcing the flat icon, are we inserting that link with the icon picture, or is it just a note in the slides?
Just a note down in the slide.
Okay.
It's just giving credit so that if somebody asks where it came from, you can give attribution to it.
And what did you call that? It's kind of changed. Did you say icons? Yeah. Oh, icons made. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then, so what I'm going to do is take that back, or I'm going to go back and get the slide. If you didn't, actually, we can just start on the blank one that you have here, or you can go back. If you didn't delete your PNG, your one that's not a PNG, we can make a copy of this one again. So duplicate that slide, and I want to drag it down underneath my second slide, my regular slide. So it's underneath the one with the PNG. So now I have my class app one with the PNG. The second one, this one is the copy of the one that will still move. I can move things around, right? So I'm going to get rid of my title here and make this a little smaller. Actually, I think I'll leave that one there. I'm going to bring this one off and drag this down. I don't need very much room here. I just need enough room for like a home button. And then put my border back here, and I have the second page built. I don't want any of that to move, so I'm going to create that as a PNG background for the rest of my slides. And then we're going to add text boxes and our things to create our different pages. So I'll show you in this one. So see how they're virtually the same slide, just adding different things within inside of them, okay?
I'm sorry, I was
You're just
adding, how do I make the PNG again?
I haven't done that yet, so you're fine.
Oh,
so does everybody have this ready to go?
Oh, you want me to create that new slide?
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's not PNG. So if you can create, this slide that will be used for the remainder of your slides. So you're creating the background basically for it.
Okay.
I went up and used the one that I didn't delete.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just I'm duplicating my background slide. Okay.
And then I got rid of that, my class app, Miss Jones or whatever, because I'm going to use this for whatever the title of that slide is going to be.
Okay. So, all right, I'm ready.
Everybody else ready? So then we're going to do the same thing where we're going to create a download as a PNG again. So go to File, Download, PNG image. Okay, and now I'm going to go back up and click on my my main page, so it's highlighted, then click plus, so it'll insert another slide. You have that so far. Then go to background, choose image, and then drag that and download, or say done, sorry. Now you should have a slide that doesn't move, right? Everybody there?
Processing.
Okay, so now what I did is I deleted the one that moved, or if you don't want to delete it yet, you can go up here, sorry, and just create a text box and say movable or whatever, just so you know that this one doesn't, you want to keep it in case you need it for something else. Okay, just because I don't want to be working on it on accident. And I'm going to duplicate this slide as many times as I have buttons up here. Okay, so however many, and you can always do more, but just go up and duplicate it so you have plenty of slides to work with. Right click on the slide, click duplicate. So now when I come back up to slide, well, mine's slide 3 right now, which would be the second, right underneath your main slide. I'm going to add a text box up here. And I'm going to change to whatever font you're using. Center it if you want, you don't have to. And change it to, mine's contact info for this slide. So it'll look like this. You could fuss with it if you had your color Zilla and you'd match the color, you could use a different color that you want. I think it looks a little bit better, bigger. And then down here, you're going to use those flat icons again, or an icon. You can do an image search. So maybe I just want to go to insert an image from the web. And this time I want a phone. And I can scroll through and find a phone that I like. I don't like any of these. Let's try. So yeah, maybe I want this, stop, this image right here. And I can insert, I'm trying to get rid of my Zoom. Insert it, this one, because it's in Google and it's a free use image, I don't need to give it attribute, but I can make it smaller, resize it. So my phone, or my phone number, and then I need a text box. Too big. And just put in your contact information. Whatever it may be. And I like to make it so that it's kind of centered with the icon, like that. And then if you have an email address, this maybe if you had Remind or Dojo or something, you might want to put any type of where parents can contact you, and however you do that with your families. So I can use the flat icon, or I can go back in here to insert image, search the web, and type email. Library again. So you just find whichever one you like.
How are people doing with keeping up?
I'm okay. Car is okay.
Anybody else?
Doing okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So then your next one, you would go back up here if you did in About Me or whatever you're going to do. You'll create in your box here with your icon and your text box, and then go and build the slide for the information. So if to go back here into the one that I created, here's my slide with my different About Me. So if I go to the slide About Me, then I just filled in that information however I wanted to do it. You can be as creative as you want with that. Then again, you can call this links or websites or whatever you want to, you choose to call that. But then think about what kind of sites. This one I didn't do as many as I did on here. When I did more. And so to get like Epic and Real Book and Gale, I just went to a Google image search and found the free, their logos and put them in there for those three, Google Classroom and Canvas. So in order to, we're about 12:45, so I just want to make sure everybody knows where we're at. Before you go any further, up here, do you see where it says Untitled Presentation? It'd be a really good idea for you to be able to find it next time you want to work on it, to go ahead and title this presentation whatever you want. I'm going to type it SuperQuest class app sample. And so one thing we didn't do is I didn't have you like put a border around this at all. And you can do that as well by, if you had, right now we can't because it's a PNG, but if I went back up to here where it's not, I could have put a border around the whole outside. You just want to make sure that you choose the border on both things and make them the same. If you used a color for the border, like if I wanted this to be, or if I don't want to do that, you can also make sure that the border is transparent. So now I took the border off there. I went to this one, I don't want the borders, so I can click on transparent again, it takes the border back off. Does that make sense? So you want the box and the border color to be the same if you are different, but it just depends on what you're choosing. So I can make this whatever color. Okay, sorry I didn't have you do that before.
And what about home?
We haven't done that yet. Okay, so the last thing to do so that you build your slides with is to add that home button or how to get back to your main slide. So you can go to either flat icon to find a home button. You can type in, you can create your own home button. You can go to image. insert image, sorry, image, search the web, and you can do home button icon and find one that you like. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it here, but I don't want it to be gray. So I'm going to go to format options and recolor and click on no recolor. And I have some options to change it. I just want it to be black like that. And then I'm going to resize it down and place it on my slide. We probably should have duplicated our slides after we put the home button on. I'm sorry. So you just have to get it down there like that.
When I resized it, the color went away, my recolor.
Try again. I'm not sure why it did, because you saw I just did it and it didn't go away.
Oh, no biggie. I could always just pick a different color. I could pick a different image.
Well, it's just funny because you saw I just did it, right? I'll try again. So which one did you use?
I used, well, I have a blue email and I picked a blue home. And so then I was like, well, I don't want two blues. And then I turned it green, which was really ugly. And as soon as I resized it, the green went away no matter what I did. So
I don't know. That's funny.
What's funny is when you search, you get totally different things than when I search.
That is funny. And you use the same home button icon?
Oh, I used home button. I didn't use icon. Okay. There we go.
So yeah, whatever you want to use, you can figure that out. And then you're going to want to put that, you can either get rid of the ones we duplicated before and duplicate that one with the home button on it, or you can add the home button to all of them, but you don't need to worry about doing anything else with it. We'll do that next week. But between now and next week, if you can somehow build your different slides to match your buttons here, then we can get it all hooked up together next time.
And share.
It takes a little bit to get it all set together because it's linking everything and then adding an overlay and then publishing it to the web as well.
So should I just add the home button to the background and PNG that?
No.
Or
no, if you PNG it it won't be able.
Clickable. So basically, I can just insert the home button on all of my slides really quickly.
Correct.
Okay.
Not on the first slide. You don't need it on the first slide. If you see, I have brought in the Bitmoji. Whoops. And here on this one, I did them different. This one, she has a phone in her hand because I have the directions to the how to create it as an app on their phone there, so you can do whatever.
Question: Did we inserted the home icon? Did we link it to that first page yet? No. Okay. All right.
So here, the other thing we didn't do is add like the little announcement button down here at the bottom. So if we're here, I just would go up and get another shape. Making this one very boring. So a shape like that and fill color, whatever color you want, or leave it white, but whatever you want down here. And then to get your Bitmoji, remember you just go up to the Bitmoji extension that we used last time and choose to find one that's standing, you just type in pose or photo is how you can get those different ones where she's just standing. The one that I have in the second one was lean. I typed in lean because she's leaning against the wall. So if I bring in this one like this, she's facing the wrong way. So I'm gonna, also remember she has a lot of white and we don't want it, if she has a lot of extra around her, it can block some of our other links. So we need to resize it. So I get that black box. I clicked on the resize crop image right here. And then on those black lines, I'm cropping her as close as I can get so that I don't have it interfere. To get her to flip, to go to the other side, I go to Format Options, Position, Size and Rotation, and then Flip. So now she's the right direction. I can resize her and put it in my app, wherever you want her. And I'm going to add one more box. And make it a little bit bigger so I can add the directions. Now her hand is kind of behind it. I can leave it like that, like she's holding that sign, or I can bring her to the front. So I would click on her and go to Arrange, Order, bring to the front. And now her hand's in front of that box. How are we doing?
Fine.
Okay.
A little burnt out.
I know. So we're done. I'm not going to show you anything else today. Just whatever you get done for next time, you know, if you get your icons built and your slides built, then we can get it all connected together and you'll have your link for your families.
Does anybody need help upload video into their virtual classroom? Okay, awesome.
Okay, so if there's any final questions before, you know, I can stay on. Go. We know it's been a long day. Difficult. I did share the template. You want me to share it again, Mark?
Make it.
I did that one. This one is.
And then the link to the recordings is, it's in the chat, http oregoncsta.org/course.
There you go, Mark.
The problem with the link in the recording is once we close this Zoom, I don't have access to it. So is it the 1240?
Oh.
When was the?
So what we need to do, that's probably a setting thing on the Oregon Siesta. Why don't I'll email and ask them to send out a link to where the recording is.
Okay, yeah, that's an email would be great.
Okay, thank you for saying something.
Yeah, that's the one problem with Zoom is any links are gone once the meeting's closed.
Because the chat will be in there as well. They are taking screenshots of the chat and putting it in as well.
Okay.
For that.
And in the meantime, if you want to start thinking about what you want your students to be able to click on, do you want a page in your slide presentation that's just per subject? Do you want it pretty much everything in one spot? Do you want to be able to post today's lessons or today's times kind of thing, something that you're updating daily? But if you start thinking about what you would like it to look like, I think that will help us to be more, but really productive during the time as far as setting people up and showing each other what we're doing.
I agree. Today was a lot for this app. It's just getting this set up, and then you can, next time we'll link it all together and it'll start making sense. And then, like I said, I'll show you how to publish it so that it doesn't have any of that navigation bars on it.
Thanks for spending your whole morning with us, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much for this. It's so helpful.
Hope so. Sorry about all the computer technology issues today.
We'll blow each other away next week. All right. Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you, Stacy. Thanks,
Bye.
Janice.
Yes, thank you. This has been super helpful.
Okay, just close it.